We have purchased the Chicco Keyfit 30. Supposed to be one of the safest car seats that there is. The lovely Brian is here to install it safely for us.
Brian from buckledbaby.com. We're here to go over how to properly put the car seat in. We're going to talk about how to properly put her in here.
Okay.
Okay. What to look for a nice snug fit.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the base installation and where we should put it. 5-point harness, 2 straps, 2 buckles on the bottom right here. We got the chest plate right here, opens it up. Everything is connected by this one strap right here. Okay, it just tightens and it also loosens the 5-point harness. Okay, you push the button, boom, pull on the straps, loosens up. Okay, what you want to do is you put these off to the side, load her in here, and then you want to buckle her in.
Okay.
Okay, doesn't matter which buckles you buckle first or last, you just want to get her in there. Okay, she's gonna be
screaming.
She's gonna be screaming and squirming. All right. So boom, I usually buckle the lower ones first.
Okay.
Okay. Boom. And then you can go ahead and buckle the chest plate.
Okay.
But we're gonna be moving this.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be one of the last things that we position.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to get her in nice and snug. Okay. So I want to pull down the harness.
Yep.
Okay. I want to get to the point where these straps are flush to her shoulder.
Okay.
Okay. You can tell if they're flush or not. You can do a quick pinch test on them. If you pinch the material like that and get a little fingerful, too loose.
Okay.
Okay. You want the end of it to line up at the armpit level.
Okay.
Okay. Pull that over.
Sleeping Beauty.
There we go.
That's what everyone wants. Sleeping Beauty.
And that's it for the carrier.
Wow, that was so much easier than reading a manual. Already.
Well worth the money.
Now I'm going to show you how to install just the carrier by itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need the base.
Right.
You're going to be using the base 99% of the time. Okay. By itself in an application is if you're in a cab,
Right.
you know, if you're a friend's car, you're traveling. All right. Don't have the leveler on the carrier,
Okay.
but what we do have is this ingenious red line right here.
Ah.
Okay. So what you're trying to do is just eyeball this red line to make sure that's horizontal to the ground. So what I do is I'll compensate a little bit. I'll start off a little bit higher than horizontal because by the time I compress it and torque it down and get it nice and tight, it's going to end up right where I want it to be, this horizontal level. I grab the seatbelt and I'm only going to be putting the lap portion underneath these plastic notches right here on the side. Okay, right, like so. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and then I'm going to buckle it in.
Okay.
So now what I want to do is pull on the shoulder portion. So when I pull on the shoulder portion, it torques down the lap portion.
Right.
And that's what's getting it nice and snug and tight.
Right.
Okay? But in this mode right now, this would just come in and out. You know, it would never stay there. Okay? So I want to make sure this is locked. Okay? Because there's automatic mode and there's emergency mode. So how I change the mode of the seatbelt is I pull it all the way out, okay, to the very end, okay, and then it starts ratcheting back in. Okay, you hear that ratcheting, and then see it's staying up in there. Okay, all right. So now what I want to do is position it where I want it to be because I can still move it now. And now I want to push down in the middle of the seat. Okay, so I want to take the cushion out of the seat. Okay, so I push down, take that half-inch of cushion, and then simultaneously pull on the shoulder portion.
Yep.
And you kind of want to feed it up in that ratcheting system.
Right.
Every little click that you hear means it's getting tighter and tighter.
Right.
Okay, so push down, pull. Okay. Pull as hard as you can.
Yep.
Okay. So, 2 things I want to make sure if it's in there properly.
Yep.
One, I want to eyeball that red line, see if that's horizontal to the ground.
Yep.
And then I also want to make sure it's in there tight enough.
Right.
Okay. So I want to grab the car seat right here at the belt path, and if I can't move that more than 1 inch left or right, that's a good
Then it's
install.
in.
So
Okay.
that's rock solid.
Nice.
And then baby's legs go underneath the belt,
Right.
and then you buckle her in there.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
To get it out of this mode, all you do is unbuckle it,
Okay.
and you're good to go.
Yep.
Onto the base. The base, we have 2 ways we can install this. Okay, we have the latch method, and these are latches. Okay, or we have the seatbelt method.
Right.
Okay, one way is not safer than the other. It's personal preference.
Okay.
And we're going to go over both. And we'll
Okay.
talk about the pros and cons of both. So for the latch method, first, we need to make sure this is level, okay, when we get that in there. So to determine that, these buttons on the side here control the height of the base.
Ew.
Okay, so it just depends on the contours of your seat. With the latch method, what we're doing, they look like kind of staplers here,
Yeah.
okay? And these little buttons on your seat, that's telling you that you have latch, okay? There's these anchor points in the butt of your seat right there, and that's what these are connecting into, okay? So all you're doing is you pull this button up to loosen the straps, okay? Pull it all the way out, and then you're just lining it up. You want to make sure this is not twisted, okay?
Yep.
You can kind of feel where the bar is in there, okay? And then you just click it right in, okay? Boom, okay? Went right in there, okay? You're gonna do the same thing on this side. You just
I didn't even realize those buttons meant
Yeah.
that.
That's pretty cool.
And then you just line it up where the bar is. And boom, clicks right in.
Nice.
Okay? So now what I want to do is get in there nice and tight.
Right.
Okay? So what I want to do now is put some weight on the seat. You know, I'll put a knee into it, I'll sit on it, whatever you need to do. Okay? Push down as hard as you can. And then this one strap controls both sides. Okay? So you push some weight into it, pull up as hard as you can. Okay? Push down really hard and pull up as hard as you can. So to determine if it's there properly, two things. You want to make sure it's level.
Yep.
So it's a little off.
Yep.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is release this. Okay? Pull this up. And then move it up to the next level.
Right.
Okay? So now we move that up.
Yep.
Okay? Now I need to do the same thing. Put some weight onto it. Okay? Pull this as hard as I can. Boom, it's right in the middle. Okay? More importantly now, I want to make sure it's in there tight enough.
Right.
So I want to grab the car seat right here at the belt path.
Yep.
And if I can't move that more than 1 inch left or right,
Same thing.
that's
right.
a good install.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
That's the latch method.
Nice.
Done. It's going to move a little bit up front here.
Right.
That's okay. You want that. Because if you ever get in an accident, you want the energy to absorb. A little left or right and a little up and down. Okay. Where you don't want it to move more than 1 inch left or right
It's right
is at the belt path.
Cool.
Okay.
And do you suggest having the baby in the middle to avoid impact from the sides?
Yeah. So the safest spot in the car seat is the back middle. Okay. But there's a caveat to that, and the caveat is if you can't get a good fit in the middle, it doesn't make sense to put it there.
Right.
So the caveat is the safest spot in the car for the car seat is wherever you can get the best fit. Okay.
Right.
And so if you can't get a good fit, because some cars it's a very narrow middle seat,
Yep.
sometimes it plateaus up quite a bit. So you don't want the seat to teeter-tot on there. You can't get a good fit. Typically, if you can't get a good fit in the middle, you're gonna move to one of the outboard seats.
Yep.
And one side's not safer than the other, but typically you're gonna go behind the passenger seat.
Okay.
Because one, it's curbside, it's loading, unloading, okay?
That makes
Also,
sense.
once you drop this carrier in there, it comes out pretty far, okay? So you want the driver to be comfortable,
Ah, I see.
okay?
That makes
And so that's why it's sometimes a little better to put it on that side of the car,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay?
And this doesn't have latches, obviously, in the middle, right?
Does not have that. That's one downside.
Yeah.
Most cars don't have latch in the middle.
Okay.
But it's okay because you can,
Yeah, you can use the belt
use the
still.
seatbelt method.
Okay.
Exactly.
So do you want to do it in the middle then?
So I'm going to show you seatbelt now, and then we can see if it works in the middle.
Yeah, we can see.
let's
It is
check.
a pretty narrow middle.
So these connection points, they have a recommended weight kind of threshold,
Okay.
kind of capacity, and right now they're saying that should be 60 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. So you also have to figure out the weight of the child plus the car seat.
Right.
Okay. Everything. Again, you've got years until you need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because this car seat, the specs on this one, up to 30 pounds or 30 inches. Okay.
Okay.
So once you hit one of those thresholds, you gotta get a new car seat.
Okay.
Typically, that's gonna last you around a year.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe a little bit more, and maybe a little bit less. Every manufacturer has slightly different expiration dates on how long they can go for. Typically, it may be between about 5 and 7 years.
Yep.
But and that's again because this plastic can wear, over time and weaken. So make sure you're using the expiration date. I think this one goes do not use after May 2021.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we're not using latch.
Yep.
They tuck up here. Okay. Little cubby holes.
Pull that there.
And then just tighten them up. So seatbelt method. We're grabbing the belt.
Yep.
Okay. We're just threading it underneath here. Okay. Across the belt path. And we're just putting it down through the side. And we're buckling it in. Okay. We want to put some weight onto it.
Yep.
And we want to pull only on the shoulder portion.
Right.
Okay. So once we get this really, really tight, we push down, put some weight onto it, get it really, really tight. These lock-offs, these orange lock-offs, you have one over here and you have one over here. Okay. This is used for that side, and this is used for this side.
Okay.
Okay. So you only put the shoulder portion, you slide it underneath like so, and you just pull it right up.
Okay.
Okay. And it's a one-way lock-off. Okay?
Okay.
So you can still tighten it at this point.
Okay.
If you don't have it really tight, you can actually just pull it a little bit more. Okay.
Right.
And once we have it in there nice and snug, once it's level, and we can't move this an inch, more than an inch left to right, then the last thing we do is change the mode of the seatbelt.
Okay.
And this is holding all the tension right there.
Yep.
Okay. The reason why we change the mode of the seatbelt is because when she gets older, I don't want her to be able to grab this and play
that
with
makes
it.
sense.
Okay.
Right,
So you just pull it all the way out, like so.
Yep.
Now it stays right there. Okay. All we're doing, she's already in here. She's already buckled in.
Yep.
You want to drop her in here like so, and you hear a couple clicks. Okay. 2 clicks.
Yep.
She's in.
Yep.
You can shake it, make sure it's gonna move like this.
Right.
Okay. It's designed to. Okay.
Yep.
It's not loose. That's just the manufacturer's design.
Yep.
But as long as you hear those clicks when you drop her in,
You know she's in.
she's in.
Cool.
Okay? And then you just want to make sure that this seat in front here is not jammed up against here. Okay. You want a little bit of room
Yep.
for this give.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You also need to get your hand back there too.
Right. Cool. Sweet.
So let's check the middle then.
Yeah.
So we might have to change the height because
Yeah.
the middle seats are not as soft.
Right,
There's not a lot of
totally.
cushion, so right there. Okay. So now, same thing. You grab the belt. Put it across the belt pad. And then we just go ahead and buckle that in there. Just a little more.
Yeah, that one.
Alright, that's it.
Yep.
And now, what you want to do
Right.
is
Pressure.
push down.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to put a knee there, put some weight onto
Yep.
it. Okay. As much as you can, and then you just thread that
Right.
all the way up so it's
Yep.
locked in there.
Yep.
And if it's still moving a little bit, you can still kind of pull. Okay.
Yep.
Get a little bit more. Okay. So now, if it's in there properly,
Yep.
we're level.
Yep.
Okay. If you grab it right here,
Yep.
if you can't move that more than an inch,
Right.
you're good.
Yep.
So you can have it here.
Yep. Okay.
It
cool.
does. It does.
It does fit. Okay.
Last thing you want to do, change the mode.
Nice.
You're good.
Nice. Cool.
Wow. Nice.
So yeah, we have a car seat. I feel like that was really well worth the money because, you know, we totally could have done it just with the manual, but he was so helpful and good at explaining, and we saw like all the different modes and where it could go in our car and to confirm all of that. I guess we're ready for her. We have purchased the Chicco Keyfit 30. Supposed to be one of the safest car seats that there is. The lovely Brian is here to install it safely for us.
Brian from buckledbaby.com. We're here to go over how to properly put the car seat in. We're going to talk about how to properly put her in here.
Okay.
Okay. What to look for a nice snug fit.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the base installation and where we should put it. 5-point harness, 2 straps, 2 buckles on the bottom right here. We got the chest plate right here, opens it up. Everything is connected by this one strap right here. Okay, this tightens and it also loosens the 5-point harness. Okay, you push the button, boom, pull on the straps, loosens up. Okay, what you want to do is you put these off to the side, load her in here, and then you want to buckle her in.
Okay.
Okay, doesn't matter which buckles you buckle first or last, you
Okay.
just want to get her in there. Okay, she's gonna
Well, she's gonna be screaming.
She's gonna be screaming and squirming. All right. So boom, I usually buckle the lower ones first.
Okay.
Okay. Boom, and then you can go ahead and buckle the chest plate.
Okay.
But we're gonna be moving this.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be one of the last things that we position.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to get her in nice and snug. Okay. So I want to pull down